You know that moment when you're putting away groceries, and you already know the lettuce is getting crushed, the ice cream's going to melt before you find freezer space, and someone's going to complain there's no ice? Again? That's not just annoying. It's the kind of everyday stress that builds up over time, especially if you're cooking more at home, storing leftovers, or just trying to keep things organized without turning your fridge into a puzzle. The BLACK+DECKER top mount refrigerator with ice maker isn't flashy, and that's exactly why it works. This 24 cubic feet, no-nonsense fridge is built for families and real kitchens, not showroom floors. With a top freezer, built-in ice maker, and smart layout that actually makes use of every inch, it's designed to stop the daily frustration and make cold storage simple again. It's not the cheapest out there. Current price is around $1,411. But if you're tired of fighting with drawers, losing food in the back, or never having enough freezer space, this might be the upgrade your kitchen's been waiting for. You'll find the link to check today's deal right below. It's in the description and the pinned comment. But before you jump to buy, let's break down what this thing looks and feels like in your space, because the design and construction might surprise you. This BLACK+DECKER refrigerator stands just over 66 inches tall, about 32 inches wide, and nearly 32 inches deep, which means it'll fit in most standard kitchen cutouts, whether you live in a house or a mid-sized apartment. It's not oversized, but definitely not compact either. With 24 cubic feet of total capacity, you're looking at room for serious storage. The fridge section alone gives you over 17 cubic feet, which translates to around 20 to 25 kilograms of meat, plus full grocery hauls. Yes, you can store a month's worth of food, especially if you're strategic with containers. But if you're feeding a large family or bulk shopping at warehouse clubs, you might still prefer shopping every 2 weeks for freshness and space balance. The freezer gives you nearly 7 cubic feet, which fits multiple frozen pizzas, several packs of meat, and, thanks to the built-in ice maker, you won't need to sacrifice space for ice trays. Now, a heads up on the physical side. This unit weighs over 230 pounds. You'll need 2 strong adults and a dolly to move it safely. It's freestanding, so no installation tricks, but it is heavy. So, do you really need a fridge this size? If you're living solo or only use your fridge casually, it might be more than you need. But for couples, small families, or anyone who cooks regularly, this size hits a sweet spot. Spacious, but not excessive. What makes this BLACK+DECKER fridge stand out in day-to-day use isn't fancy screens or Wi-Fi. It's how well it handles the basics. Thanks to the inverter compressor, it cools more efficiently by adjusting power based on need. That means better temperature stability, especially when you're opening the door constantly during cooking. Vegetables last longer than you'd expect. In real use, leafy greens can stay crisp for up to 10 days, while peppers, carrots, and broccoli hold up for nearly 2 weeks if the crisper drawers are set right. On the energy side, it's Energy Star certified, drawing about 506 kilowatt hours per year, or around 42 per month. That translates to a modest $5 to $7 monthly for most families. Great for a full-size fridge. Compared to others in the same category, this unit offers more usable space without inflating your electric bill or overcomplicating things. It's simple, but smart where it counts. Now, a heads up, the ice maker hookup isn't beginner-friendly. The manual lacks detail, and you'll likely need a compression fitting not included in the box. It works well once installed, producing around 3.5 pounds of ice per day, but setup takes effort. Small tip, always leave clearance behind the unit for airflow. It runs so quietly, you might forget it's even on. To get the best performance out of this BLACK+DECKER refrigerator, a few habits go a long way. First, don't overload the shelves, especially near the air vents. Leave space for airflow, and the inverter compressor will do its job more efficiently, keeping consistent temperatures without overworking. The temperature dials are manual, which means you control everything. For most homes, setting the fridge between levels 3 and 4 keeps food cold without freezing produce. For the freezer, mid-level is usually perfect unless you're storing large amounts of meat. Now the good news, and it's frost-free. No more defrosting by hand or dealing with ice buildup. That alone makes it easier to maintain. When it comes to cleaning, plan on wiping down interior surfaces every 2 to 3 months with mild soap and warm water. Shelves and drawers are removable, which helps a lot. For deep cleaning, once or twice a year is more than enough unless there's a spill. The exterior has that stainless steel look, which is stylish but does show fingerprints, especially around the handles. A microfiber cloth with a vinegar-based spray works well and helps reduce streaks. Replacement parts directly from BLACK+DECKER are available, but not cheap. Think of it like mid-range appliance pricing. However, most pieces are durable and won't need replacing unless damaged. So while it's low maintenance overall, a bit of routine care keeps this fridge running quiet and looking sharp. In my opinion, the BLACK+DECKER refrigerator is worth it if what you want is a no-nonsense, efficient, mid to large size fridge with features that actually matter. The 24 cubic feet of total capacity gives you serious space, room to store weekly groceries or even a full month's haul, depending on how disciplined you are with your meal planning. The Energy Star rating and inverter compressor mean it runs quietly and keeps energy costs reasonable, roughly 42 kilowatt hours per month, which often translates to simply $5 to $7 per month in many US households. The frost-free design means zero manual defrosting, and users report the ice maker works well once properly hooked up. It's also well-reviewed for looks. One user mentioned the stainless look looks good and fits well in the kitchen. Another praised it for staying cool, cold at mid-setting with minimal noise. These real comments help add credibility. People see the performance in everyday use. However, and I try to be honest, it's not perfect. In my view, it might not be worth it if you hate setup hassles or want full support. Several users complained about poor support from BLACK+DECKER and unclear installation instructions. One user said their first unit's ice maker didn't work, and dealing with the company was frustrating. Another said that connecting the water line was almost impossible without external help. If you're someone who wants plug-and-play simplicity with zero tinkering, this could be a pain point. Also, it's heavy, over 230 pounds, so expect moving challenges. So here's my balanced verdict. If you're comfortable doing a bit of setup, value capacity, efficiency, and quiet operation, this refrigerator stands out as a strong choice. But if you expect flawless support, ease of installation, or you live alone and don't need so much space, it could be more than you need, or introduce more hassle than it's worth. If you like this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Also drop a comment. What's the worst fridge you ever lived with? And how did it frustrate you? I'd love to hear your stories.